I think they have to do a better job in the portal.
Hmm.
Um, when you look at how teams are structured and built nowadays, the number one like the number one recruiting class doesn't mean anything because the chances of you keeping 80% of those guys are slim to none because of the portal. So, like I would say the focus should be on filling immediate holes and building depth through the portal as you develop those younger guys who you want to keep. Because to me, Texas struggles with letting guys go. Like it's okay to say I missed on a player, but they do it too late. By the time he's a junior, it's too late. Like you already knew halfway through his second year that he wasn't the guy. He wasn't going to be the guy, and that's okay. It's okay to miss. The issue comes when you hold on to your misses longer than you should. It's like staying with an ex way longer than you should. Like you knew y'all weren't right together, and you insisted on trying to work things out. Let it go. Go into the portal, grab a new girl. That's what to me. That's what Texas has to get better at, just in terms of hitting on players. Because right now we're missing. Like we aren't getting the impact in which we're paying for. So those are misses. Like we're paying a lot of money for this roster, and we're not getting the production in which we should be getting. So I would say just building more, uh, like going to the portal more. And I'm not saying you're going to get everybody, like every little able body, but you have to go there and get proven players. Like we could have used a couple of those old linemen in the portal this year. Like they're good players, they're good all conference players. We could have used them. So I would
Kevin
say
Morehouse
we got to
from
attack the
Oregon.
portal. Oregon, yeah,
Would be
like
nice.
we should go attack the portal a little bit more thoroughly because I get it. You want to be homegrown and keep the kids in Texas. Like all that sounds good. The issue is they aren't staying in Texas long enough to even reap the benefit of that number one recruiting class. You don't know what a recruiting class is until year three. But now you don't even get to see that because they don't stay at the school. So why bother? Go get your top 15 to 17 guys, focus on those guys, and then go in the portal.
I think for me, the biggest thing that I want to see Texas improve upon. This has been a consistent issue every single year for the Longhorns. They're a very undisciplined team. They make costly
Very much.
mistakes in inopportune times.
Very much so.
I don't know what needs to change. I've never been a coach in my life. I have no clue like how you coach discipline, whatever it is. And I know Sark knows this because he worked not with Kirby with Nick Saban,
Same time.
so
Yeah.
he's seen it. Whatever Saban did to install the level of discipline that team had, you need Steve Sarkisian to have that. I don't care if Texas is a. I don't care if Texas loses games because they're just out talented. When you lose games because you're just undisciplined, that's
Yeah.
a really frustrating thing, right? Because discipline is something that you can coach. Texas, in my opinion, has to be better because I'm pretty sure that they are like one of the worst teams in the entirety of college football in terms of penalties.
100%.
And you just can watch the games too. The Georgia game was a great example of it, where had Texas been more disciplined, maybe they get off the field in that 4th and 5, right?
Yep.
Maybe some of those returns would have worked out for you. I mean, think about that big return that they had on the kickoff that went for like 40,
Mm-hmm.
50 yards and it got called back because of a
Got called
penalty.
back.
And it was a blatant penalty too, just a bad one. So that stuff's got to be cleaned up to me. Penalties are the biggest thing. I also think Texas needs to do a better job of not having to rely on young talent. And they did that this year where they relied on
Yep.
Grayson Littleton, who's been good, really good actually, but they relied on him. They've relied on, guys who weren't proven at guard, Neto, Connor Stroh, Nick Brooks at one point.
Growth.
And I'm not saying every position has to be a senior because you want to let the young guys play, but you have to be able to not have to rely on so many young pieces to work for you or so many just new faces.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of guys coming into the season that didn't
And
play a lot for Texas, and that's a
exactly.
big deal. Like I would want guys that have a full season under their belt. Like look at really think about it. Brandon Baker, no experience at right tackle, barely started. Trevor Gooseby, fairly new, only played a handful of games last year. Your quarterback, Arch Manning,
Yeah.
only played a couple of games last year. Um, Ryan Wingo, the receiving core is pretty experienced. Jack Andrews is pretty experienced. Look on the defensive side of things. A lot of guys have not played a lot of football over there. And you're asking those guys to take on bigger roles when they're just not quite ready for it. So for me, if I am Sark, I'm going to identify what positions we are inexperienced at, and that's what I would target at the portal, right?
100%.
The good news is
100%.
this year was an experience year. So a lot of those guys who didn't have experience now have the experience. So now you can improve upon it.
Right.
But moving forward, as you start to move on with this, you have to be a bit more understanding of where you're inexperienced at. So that would be one for me.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, and we're saying the same thing because that's just roster construction. So when your team is that young, now you're relying on young guys to start and young guys to be backup. That's a double negative to me. Like that's not where you want your team. If anything, you want okay, if you start Grayson Littleton, it's cool, but a backup behind him should be an experienced guy, a guy who maybe just isn't as talented overall, but it's a guy you trust. He's going to do his job. He's not going to give up big plays. He's going to play the game the right way. He's not going to get penalty. Like he's going to do just he's no special talent, but he's a really good football player. And you say I trust him, but I think this freshman has a lot more upside. The issue is now we have freshmen starting, freshmen backing them up, and in college football today, you cannot build a team like that. Like you can't. Clemson is prime example of that. We're a couple games away from being Clemson. Honestly, right?
That sucks.
Exactly. Why? Because they don't go and it's thousands of players in the port. Thousands. So you telling me 10 of them can't help this roster right now? I don't believe that. So yeah. I'm definitely with you. And what you were talking about with the penalties, we're 135 out of 136 in penalties. Average 8.2 a game. 8.2. Only one team worse than us, Georgia State.
Oh,
and they average a little bit more than us.
Oh, so man, that's not good. That's not where you want to be. Compared to Georgia State, that's not where you want to be.
So that's where we're at right now. But to your point, to me, that's culture. Because if the culture is right, then the guys who come in, whether freshmen, transfers, you buy in, and this is how we do things here. But this is Texas culture right now. That's calling spade a spade. Like Texas culture is committing penalties and doing the wrong things in critical situations. Like when your best player on defense jumps off side on fourth down, that's culture. That's coaching. That's what he's been allowed to do. And I'm not saying like on the field, but in some aspect of his football career, he's been allowed to get away with X, Y, and Z. That's why on game day he does this. It's cause and effect. Whether they want to admit it or not, that it is direct cause and effect. So you can't be surprised when he jumps off sides when you allow him to get away with things in the building or on campus, whatever the case may be. It is culture. Like the culture in Texas has to get tougher. Has to get tougher mentally and physically so that things like that don't happen where you're 135th out of 136 in penalties.
No, I don't disagree with you. Now, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to say, is it time for Sark to give up play calling duties? I'll let you answer that, and then I'll give my thoughts on it.
I mean, the issue is I don't think he has a play caller in his building, first off.
Would you hire an external one?
Me personally? Hell yeah. Yeah. It's plenty of good ones. They all been fired as head coaches. There's plenty of good offensive coordinators. That's the thing. So now you bring in, again, you go into the coaches portal now and you go get a proven play caller who's also a former head coach. So now when you're doing something out of whack, he could be in your ear like, yeah, hold on, slow down. Like it's more information, it's more wisdom. Like good leaders understand when like Saban gave up defensive play calling at some point. When they start struggling, that's when he handed it over to Kirby. That's when he handed it over to Muschamp. Like it's okay to put your ego to the side and say, I'm going to focus on this aspect of being a head coach. But yeah, I would hire somebody after last year though. So That would have been
Mm.
I would hire the OC after last season, but I definitely would hire one this year because I don't think I think he's a good play designer. I don't think he's a good play caller right now.
Yeah, it feels like he doesn't like set things up enough, and I think that's one of my
No,
biggest issues with him is because you watch a play design, you're like, this is innovative, this is smart, this is nice,
concept is
and it's
great.
like build off of it now, have something else happen that looks similar, but you're doing something different, and that's what you see
Right.
from these really good programs. So I guess to kind of put you on the spot, who would be the guy that you would target like immediately, just kind of off the top of your
Off the
head?
top of my head,
Yeah.
who's all been fired?
Dude from Florida,
No,
Arkansas,
uh,
Oklahoma State.
Billy Napier, great offensive play caller. No, I wouldn't dare go to Gundy. No, but prime example, Billy Napier wasn't a good head coach at Florida. It was his first big time job, struggled, right? So now Sark says, "Hey Billy, come call plays." Like people forget how good of a play caller he was, and that he's from the Saban tree. Like when you're from that tree, you have different things in terms of uh, doing things. You're just different because you work for the best, and he pushes you in ways that you don't get pushed. So yeah, I would call Billy Napier, hire him as OC,
Here's
quarterback
a
coach.
here's a
Like he was good at that stuff. He was a really good receiver coach. Like people forget who he coached over there at Bama as a receiver coach. I'm talking about the Julios, the Mark Coopers. Like he was there doing somewhere in that range. Like yeah, go get a play caller like that, and now Sark manage the game. Now maybe penalties go down. You know what I mean?
maybe.
Just
Yeah.
I would off the top of my head that would be my first guy. Who
What
I
about
would
Neuheisel from UCLA?
from UCLA.
Yeah.
I like him because he does exactly what you said, but like his offense is predicated on serious play calling. So it's inside zone with the orbit motion. It's RPO with the same look. It's play action off the same look, and it's play
Yeah.
action screen off that same look. Like his a lot of his play calling is predicated on serious play calling. And to your point, I think the best offenses do it. So yeah, actually I actually like Newhouse as well, and he'd probably be cheaper. So
Let
why
me
not?
I'll throw one more at you.
Uh-oh.
He's currently on the Raiders. He might get fired. He's been not so good for them. Chip Kelly, Ohio State,
In
led them to a
college,
national championship for
if
college.
only if he brings the tempo.
He will. Oh, Chip Kelly
Only if
would.
he brings the tempo. Because
I think it'd be good.
that's what made Ohio State so well. Like I do too. I like as a college coach and play caller, Chip Kelly is like one of the best. I played against him in the NFL, and I know guys who have coached against him. He's so predictable in the NFL. Like he has certain tendencies that in college they're harder to get a hold of because you're going so fast. You can't do it in the NFL. That would I just have a hard time because I've seen the Raiders play this year, and he
It's
can't
been
get the
bad.
ball to the dude that they drafted fifth overall. Like, bro,
No.
just turn around and hand the dude the ball 25 times. And no, he goes out his way not to give good players the ball this year in the pros. So that one would worry me a little bit, just a little bit. I'm trying to think is
But
any,
the thing is too is like you hire him, he sucks. All right, Steve, you're back up. You're not calling plays again.
but see,
Kind of an
that would defeat the
kind of be a
purpose.
stick. Like true, but I'm just saying like I think it would work out. But if it doesn't work out,
Then I mean,
we won't
true.
be
I
screwed.
mean, that's and to me, that's why I say you hire an outside guy. At the least, Sark just takes over play calling again. Screw it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
I
Like
mean,
it's
worst
just
case
all
scenario.
right, cool. Worst case scenario. And like Sark has worked with enough guys to know who exactly he can go to. Like he's worked with more than enough guys to know, like, okay, we run a similar system. The terminology won't change too much for the offense. He's going to add a couple different wrinkles and things like that. But at a foundational level, like the teaching of this offense would be very similar. Now Sark gets to manage the game and design plays. I think he's a great play designer. Great
Yeah.
play designer. Because he sees the game in like 6D. Like he sees it like that when he's designing plays. He doesn't see it that way live during the game or when he has to make adjustments. So yeah, I just don't know like exactly who, but I like the guys you name. I really like Newhouser though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Last little thing I'd say on this little topic here, David Keith Williams put a good comment here. They need to develop a tight end, and I 100% agree. Tight end has been a lost art in the Longhorns this year, and I don't know if it's from a player perspective, personnel perspective. I don't know if it's from a Arch Manning perspective, but the tight ends this year have been a complete nothing burger for us. And I think
Yeah,
Texas is
invisible.
at its best offensively when the tight end is really involved in the offense. JT Sanders, Gunnar Helm. This year, there's no tight end you can hang your hat on. And Jordan Washington not being able to develop into that has been kind of a story for me that I've been really disappointed in. And now it almost feels like he's lost his confidence in a way because of the drop at Georgia and the lack of playing time. I think tight end has to be more involved in your system. And if it's a personnel issue, then get somebody new. If it's not Jack Andrews,
Yep.
go get you a new one. There's going to be plenty in the portal. I like Nick Townsend a lot. I think he has talent, but he's an unproven commodity. You need to find that guy at tight end. That would be, if from any personnel position, I would like to see tight end be addressed here quickly in the offseason.
So and like with tight end, because you can play with so many. I think like we have to just define roles. Like our pass catcher, our run blocker, our motion move guy who's also maybe a fullback. Like we just have guys all doing the same stuff and they're not all good at it. And like I don't care if it's a tail. So what? If they can't stop it, it doesn't matter. But we put guys who are not good run blockers out there in 12 personnel and then run behind them and then be surprised when we can't run the ball. Well, they're not good run blockers. Well, if we leave them in, and so what? If they can't stop it, doesn't matter if they know. So yeah, I definitely agree with that comment. I would like to have a tiny end one, but if we don't have one on the roster right now, and and we say it's not one out there that's worth paying, then just give guys more defined roles. This is how we're going to use you. This is where you serve this offense best.
100%. All right, guys, let us know in the comment section below. What's the biggest need from Texas? Is it a philosophy change? Is it new coaches? Is it some new personnel? Let us know in the comments below.